Hello again, listeners, and welcome back to the Kotu Classic FPL podcast. I'm your host, Solomon. And as usual, I have my co-host there with me. Chama, nakam nak.
Boy, my cool boy. Nakam? Nu fa demee?
Not bad, man, not bad. Yeah, so Helter Skelter, Game Week 27.
Yeah, crazy game week.
Yeah, it's unfortunate that after we recorded a Game Week 26 preview, the news broke about Game Week 27 and some added double game weeks
In
from
20.
27 to 29, I think.
Yeah, 28 and 29. 27 was
28
already
and 29.
announced, I think, in the previous week, and then 28 and 29. I think whilst we are recording, actually, the announcement was
That's when
made.
it came
So,
out.
yeah. Then we finished, and then I went into Twitter, and then so, whoa, there is a bombshell of, fixtures. Actually, there was somebody who tweeted, I think he's one of the fans of these clubs. He said, at 4 o'clock, that was UK time, an announcement will be made that will change everybody's, plans in FPL.
And he was
And
right, yeah.
and he was right. When I saw it, I was one of those managers who felt, no, I'm just gonna stick to my plan. But then the more I went into it, and then the more I see, the more because I did not make any, like, I did not look at the fixtures in details like try to tally it with my team and things like that. So, but the more I look at that, and then the more I started, siding ways with the wild card team. I was really not in for the wild card. I had some, top managers out there like Mark, Andy. They were all wildcarding. General, those managers, they were all wildcarding. But I could not make sense out of it until I look at my team and then look at what could happen in between game week 26 to game week 30 and how you can maneuver around that. And then it was a no-brainer for me to wildcard at the end of the day. I know it was. I know we came here said a lot about Salah being the best triple captain ever, and I still believe that this game week we have never got any like a better triple
Better
kill.
fixture for table captain, yeah.
Yeah, better opportunity for triple captain. But at the end of the day, it's not just about the triple captain. It's all about the overall at the end of the day. So I think there was gains to do the wild card in that particular game week, and then we cannot win all battles like we always say. You have to win some, and then you lose some. And this triple captain was one of them. I was happy to lose at the end of the day. That's why I ended up with the wild card. But it's unfortunate we already recorded, and then we posted the recording
Yeah.
of our triple captain and things like that. So yeah, we just like to say
Apologies, yeah, apologies.
apologies, especially
But
on
but
my side. Yeah.
but it happens. It happens. It's like that's the whole point of the game. You have to be flexible because, as we know, information always comes at any time, and you
Yeah.
have to adjust accordingly. So if you see an opportunity like yourself to get ahead and improve your scores, you have to do it. It's just because you said something, you have to stick to it. No, that's the whole point of the game, is to be flexible and to change your strategy whenever it needs be. So yeah.
Definitely. Usually, I don't tweet my teams and things like that. But yeah, I think that day I decided to do the tweets and things like that. At least if somebody was
Yeah,
listening to our podcast, at least we will see
they
that
will know that you
my plan
change.
has
Yeah,
changed
yeah.
or something like that. That's why I was active on Twitter for that day, which I am usually not.
It's okay, man. It's fine. Like, especially like we always say, this next few game weeks, I think from 26 or something all the way to 30. Like there's a lot of changes, things are happening all the time. There's a lot of
Yeah.
games being added. So this is where the planning comes in. So
Yeah.
you cannot just stick to one plan and say this is what I'm going with. So for me, I
Yeah.
was fortunate because my 27, even though I'm not following any double game week players or something like that, the problem is I was lucky enough to field 11 players. So that's, for me, that's fine.
Yeah.
I can use my chips and we'll talk about that. So if you don't
Definitely.
already know, we are talking about blank or double game week 27. Or this is the one that had the blank, but only Burnley have a double game week. So a lot of
Yeah.
players are
That's it.
playing their free hit.
Yeah. And
But
and
anyways, before we get into that,
yeah, I mean,
go ahead.
usually we don't talk a lot about Burnley, but today Burnley is gonna be the dominant, the
Finally, we are
dominant
talking
force
about
of
Burnley.
dominant force of our podcast today should be Burnley.
Yeah. Okay, so we'll talk about our team review so far because there's still, I think, 2 games to play.
Yeah.
So
No, a
for
few
26,
four games to play or something. I think
4 games to play.
I have like up to 9 or 10 because I wildcarded, of course. I have 10 players to play still, and yeah.
Wow.
So the game week is still young. In if you look at the teams.
Yeah. Okay, and then we talk about some results, shocking results so far in 26. So then we look at the double game week fixtures for 26. Is it 27?
Yeah,
There's
27.
27, yeah. And then we'll confirm the double, the one that is confirmed. And then we'll focus on the teams that have doubles. So that is, I think, the center of this podcast, to see what best team you can feel if you're on a free hit. I think Chama will also talk about his team and we'll discuss it in detail.
Yeah, I'm on the free hit.
He's on a free hit, yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
already
So,
active.
already active. Let's review our team so far. How does your team look for 26 so far? Because you already have like, I think mostly double gaming players.
Yeah,
so
I
you
have.
have another game to play.
Yeah, I think I only stick with Cancelo in my double game week team. In double game week 26 team, only Cancelo was the one who survived in terms of a player who was not doubling. I went with Ramsdale. Finally, I have Ramsdale in my team. 26 game week. After 26 game weeks, I have him, and he blanked. So it's like they say, I broke him. So he came with it, but he still have a fixture to play against Wolf. So I'm still counting on him. In defense, I had Cancelo, Van Dijk, Trent Alexander-Arnold, and Saiz, 3 of which still have a fixture to play. Cancelo, he was sharp in the Tottenham game, but he ended up with just 1 point, which was, I would say, in FPL terms disappointing, but I was happy with the results, of course. Rafinha, Saka, Salah, and Son were in my middle. Salah was my captain, of course. He was my triple captain ahead of, like, until after the podcast, of course, when the fixtures were announced, when I played the wild card. Then he became a captain instead of a triple captain. Then I had Jimenez and Lacazette, who both give me a 5-pointer, and they still have one fixture to go. So I have 10 players still to go. So it's looking nice. 62 points on the wild card. And I am very happy with my team going forward. My rank moved from 1,400 to 1,100 with still 10 players to go. So that's looking nice. How about you? How did you do?
So I'm on 70 right now. Triple captain played on Salah. The funny thing is my bench is looking very, very tempting. I just wish I played the bench boost. I would have gotten, like, some points. But yeah, I played the 3-5-2. And I'm still disappointed, of course, with 2 points. Cancelo with 1. It's very strange. Trent, I don't think he played, so he's on 0.
Yeah, he was rested. I was not surprised though.
Yeah, I knew he got 1 point. He's a new transfer that I brought in specifically for Gimmick 26, and he, like, blanked, you can say. Bowen also disappointed. West Ham in general. Coutinho, who I also brought in. It was between Coutinho and Rafinha. I brought in Coutinho, so I was unlucky in that case. He got 2 points. Salah is on 30, free hit. Triple captain. Fernandez was star of the week, I think, for this week with 12, or one of the stars. Let me see. Saka got 10 points. Broha with 2.
And Saka still have a fixture to go, right?
Yeah, he has fixture to go.
Yeah.
So Dennis with 9. So I have about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 players that have a fixture to go.
Yeah.
So not bad.
Plus the triple captain on Salah. So
yeah, looking. Captain. So yeah. So hopefully, I think I can make it.
You will hit the 100 point. You will hit the 100 point mark. Did you hit the 100 point mark this season? I think you did, right?
Not yet. I haven't yet.
Oh, it was last season that you hit that 126 or something.
Last season, I think I hit it like twice or so.
Yeah, so I think this is a game you're gonna hit it, because a 10 point from Salah is a 100 point for you, without the other players. So yeah, I think this week you should be in the 100 points. For sure.
I deserve to be, man. I just want to maximize this triple captain like as much as possible to have a very high score, because and then I can get the edge. So yeah. Foster on my bench had 6 points and he has still 1 fixture to go. So I guess we should admit it. But I'll choose Ramsdale over Foster any day, but he just outscored Ramsdale so far. Watkins with 1 point on my bench. Livramento is the painful one to watch. He's on 12 points on my bench. Cucurella with 1 point. So yeah, 70 points. It's for a first round of games with a few game weeks, 6 players to play, plus the triple captain. Yeah, hopefully I cross the 100 mark. That's my target. Yeah. So let's talk about some results. Interesting results. So which one of the results is really shocking to you? Let's talk about the obvious one. Is it Man City and Spurs? The 2-3.
3-2 for Spurs. Yeah, that was yeah. Well, I only watched the first half of the game. I watched the first half. Tottenham scored early. I was buzzing for them, and then Man City equalized, going to halftime 1-1. So I decided, oh yeah, because if I watch Spurs or if I watch City, it's always about hope but not expectation for them to lose the game. So I was like, it was late here, it was 2 a.m. So why would I stay here to watch City just to win the game at the end of the day? So I will just sleep, and whatever happened in the morning, I will see. And then I wake up to the 3-2 score, and Harry Kane was exceptional in that game. I think everybody is saying this was the best individual performance of the season, and I cannot disagree. City did not get Spurs did not get the ball enough, but whenever they get the ball, they made
Made it
maximum use
count.
of it. They made it count. And Kane was exceptional in this game. I did watch the highlights. I did saw what he did. He could have get the hat trick. It was
He
exceptional.
could have gotten scored more goals. Yeah, he had a few that
Get
the
ruled
keeper
out.
saved. Yeah,
Yeah, one there was a big chance that Rolly saved, Edison saved, and there was
his leg.
the
Yeah,
there was the one that was ruled out too. Yeah, it open it like the title race is wide open again, I would say. Last time we talked about like Liverpool City, I was more of the I did like I I'm not surprised if Liverpool can win all the games for sure, but I did not expect City to lose any game. That's why I thought this title race will be very difficult for Liverpool. But now it's wide open again, and a win against City should, well, provided Liverpool win their games up to that time, of course, it would mean that there is a chance for Liverpool. So it is back in Liverpool's hand, in other words, because if Liverpool can win their games, they can still be number one. So it is wide open again. We have an exciting title race to go. Two of the best teams you can imagine in the league, Liverpool, Manchester City. I gotta say, Manchester City is the best team, but I think Liverpool are even closer to them than I imagined at the start of the season because of the new signing Diaz and like the fitness of the players in the team, a lot of things, the form of the team, the AFCON is behind the Liverpool team. So all these factors bringing them together, Liverpool are a better team. So I think they are much closer to City than when we did our mid-season review, I would say. So it makes it a very exciting season to go. Yeah, that was the thing. And Liverpool, yeah, of course, before City played, Liverpool played. And Liverpool did a lot of like 6 or 7 changes. And we are playing Norwich. Norwich scored early. So in the second half, it meant that Norwich, like everybody was feeling like a little bit tension or a little bit anxious because of Norwich scored early. And if Liverpool lose that game, if they didn't win that game, that was done for it because you will expect City to win at the end of the day. But yeah, it ended up opening the title race, and I think it's exciting for the neutrals. And it's exciting for Liverpool fans, of course. I don't know where you stand on this because you're a United fan. You would want City to
I
win. You would
mean,
want Liverpool to win.
of course, yeah. It's about choosing. It's between a rock and a hard place. You don't want either of them to win, but if you have to choose, you don't want to choose somebody who's in the same city as you, so that you will see all the celebration banners everywhere you walk. I'm sure. Yeah, but it's good because you want a competition when it comes to the league. You want competition because at this stage last season, almost I think they'd already run away with the league and they're already focusing on the Champions League. I
Yep.
think that might be the case this time. They wanted to maybe put enough gap in between them and second place that they will have to focus on the Champions League and try to win it again this time, or after failing last season. But I mean, it's good. Nobody was expecting this. That Spurs played a perfectly well executed strategy. To be honest, like they could have even scored more
Yeah.
because they took their chances extremely well. And it's not easy to play against Man City because you have to be on concentrating 100% of the time because they can punish you. They are always with the ball, so they can score anytime. But if you had the chances, that's the thing. If a team is dominating, the only way you can play against them is by countering. And Spurs has the players for that in Kane and Son. They're always
Yeah.
running. If they get the ball, everybody disappears running forward, and then Kane is very good at holding back the ball to the perfect possible time and then releasing the pass.
Yeah,
It's
he's like
it's
one of the
just
best one of the best creative strikers I ever seen, to be honest.
yeah. Yeah, he's good at what he does. When it comes to that is what they do, and they have a link between him and the attacking players. They always know where each other is gonna run to, so it's easy. It was a good game, very intense game. It was good. Which
Yeah.
any other fixture that comes to your mind when it comes to these already
Uh,
played games?
of course, we want to talk about a little bit about Workhouse. He had
I didn't watch that game. When I saw the 12 points, I was like, 12 points.
no, he's
When
a
I saw
big.
the threes,
I
I
think
was
he's a
like,
very.
oh,
I think I said it that I think they were the winners when it comes to the deal with Newcastle, selling Wood and then bringing Warehouse, because
getting a
I
better
feel
player.
he was a better player, and he's showing that because he's scoring. He's not just a big target man who will be there, heading the ball. He's a good footballer. He's a big man, but he's a good footballer. And if you see the finishes that he does, you will know, and the passes that he do in the games. Like for example, in the United game, he did an exceptional pass, and again, that was a very good pass in this game. So to get a 12 point, it was nice. I'm unfortunate I didn't get the point, but yeah, it was nice to see him start get his Premier League like career like start his Premier League career with a goal, because that was his first goal in the Premier League. So that's nice to see. But I think the most interesting fixture I would say is the Leeds United and Man United fixture. It's a, that game. That game is like, it's traditionally very, it's kind of it's not a derby, but
intense.
it's, yeah, because
It's
these are,
intense. There's the history behind it. Yeah, it's the
yeah,
history behind us and
there's a
Leeds.
history
Yeah.
behind Leeds. Yeah, it was a good game. Did you watch it?
Actually, I don't like watching United games because I was disappointed. I knew it was going to be a cracker of a game because whenever we play them, it's always a high goal scoring game.
Yeah.
And so I think I watched the last 10 minutes or so. So it was when
Yeah,
most of the things happened. But
you missed the best part
we
of
were
the game.
cruising.
It was
Yeah, we were
raining,
cruising.
it was a muddy pitch. It was a crazy game, a high tempo
Yeah.
things. Man United leading 2-0, Leeds coming back to 2-2. It was an
Equalize.
interesting game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It kind of seems, I don't want to take the fan perspective, but it kind of seems like sometimes the refs are against us because the second goal, it was kind of like a foul, even though maybe you can say it wasn't much of an impact, but should have stopped the game because somebody was on the floor and then they scored.
Yeah,
But
well,
still, man,
yeah.
we still rallied behind and still scored 2 more goals. So I mean, it's Leeds. We know that they're always going to attack, but also you have to give credit to Manchester United, the team. They did well, because it takes something out of you for you to think that you're cruising and the team equalizes. I mean, that means I have to, because they were cruising, and 2 silly goals just got them back on track. But it was a good game to watch. After seeing the highlights and watching the last 10 minutes of the game, it was a good game to watch.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
I think I
Yeah, what
saw
do
the
you
Wolves. I saw the Wolves Leicester game too. That was a good game.
oh, okay. You seem to watch Wolf a lot, right? What
I don't know why. Yeah, I think it just happens that they're the ones that are playing, and I don't know.
they are the one that is
I
like
like them. I like
better,
Wolves, to be honest.
or maybe your timing is also, more.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
always there. It happens to be Wolves that is playing that time that I'm a bit free to watch a game also. So it was a
So
good game. I was impressed with
what are you
Wolves.
looking forward to the next? We also have 4 games to go. Burnley, Spurs, Watford, Crystal Palace, Liverpool, Leeds. Of course, the Liverpool Leeds is the one that you will be eyeing on because of the triple captain on
Of
Salah.
course,
And then
that's the
Arsenal.
game. But
So what are you
I don't
expecting
want to
there?
jinx it I don't want to jinx it by watching it. So I might watch another game. you know,
Definitely. Yeah, it's tonight, 7:40. Like, yeah, it's gonna be 7:45
no, I
in
mean,
Japan here. Like, it's gonna be
yeah.
7:45 in UK, but it's gonna be early morning in Japan here. So yeah, those are the fixtures. I think we can look to the next game week's fixtures, right?
Yeah, the 27, you mean 27 fixtures.
Yeah, there is no like manager of the week or league update this week
Yeah,
because
because it's still ongoing.
the
Yeah.
league the game week is still ongoing, so we just move straight to the fixtures. And here is the double game week fixture. Like I say, we're gonna have to talk a lot about Burnley. They have it a double game week. They play Burnley, play Crystal Palace away, and then they play Leicester City at home. But also there are some very nice fixtures. Liverpool don't have a fixture. Chelsea don't have a fixture, and Arsenal and which other team? Yeah, I think those 3 teams don't have a fixture because of the League Cup finals. Liverpool and Chelsea will be in the League Cup finals on Sunday, so I'm looking forward to that. But because of that, we're not gonna have a lot of. Usually, I think many teams invest a lot in Liverpool, and a few Arsenal players here and there, Ramsdale, Saka, and then you have Salah, you have Trent. So if you have all those players, then you are in a trouble this week because you will not be able to use them. So in that case, some managers are considering the free hit, and some managers have already planned well, like yourself. So you have your good team going into the game week. But looking at the fixtures, which fixtures stand out for you? Of course, Burnley will be there because of the double. But after that, apart from Burnley, which teams stand out?
Well, first of all, let me read just call out the fixtures for those that are listening, or the listeners in the podcast. First fixture, Southampton, Norwich. Then you have Leeds, Spurs, Brentford, Newcastle, Brighton, Aston Villa, Crystal Palace, Burnley, Man United, Watford, Everton, Man City, West Ham, Wolves, Burnley again, and Leicester. So I think, like you said, taking out Burnley, who have a double game week, I think the one I'm eyeing the most based on my transfer is Leeds Spurs, because we all know Leeds are never going to defend. And the way Spurs played against Man City, you can expect them to have like a boost of confidence, and it's going to be a killing. It's going to be a high-scoring game. I can tell you that for a fact. Unless maybe Leeds change their strategy and decide to defend and try to get at least 1 point from the game. But if not, it's going to be a high-scoring game.
They will go for it, and Spurs will go for it. So Spurs is where a good defensive team.
Spurs have a chance to finish top 4, and they're gonna push all out. They're gonna go for it.
Yeah. Did you hear like Antonio Conte's interview? Because Kane was like, he had a knock in the game against Manchester City, so he was question about the availability of Kane. He said even if he have one leg, he will play because we need him.
Yeah, because this is an opportunity for them to try to gather some points, because the race for top 4 is quite open. There are a lot of teams that are vying for that position. Like Manchester is there, West Ham for the first time are also there. Which other team is in 4th place right now? There's a few.
Arsenal, Tottenham, even Wolves are close around there.
Yeah, so it can be anybody's spot right now, like the 4th position and qualify for Champions League, which I'm sure they would love to do. So. Yeah. Which other game to you is like an interesting game to watch, or in terms of FPL, you can say?
Yeah, I would say especially if you don't have Liverpool, I will always side with the second, like the best attacking team in the league, or combined with Liverpool. That is Manchester City. They are running away when it comes to stats. Liverpool and Man City are up there. So this week we don't have the Liverpool players, so I will think about the Manchester City players. But we always know there is Mr. Pep, who will always, try to do his stuff. But yeah, Manchester City is the team that I would target. Everton, yes, they are okay, but they are terrible too. If I look at it from a Liverpool point of view, they are a bad team. They are not good at all. So I expect Manchester City to especially considering Manchester City are a very angry team right now after this sports.
They're wounded lions.
Yeah, exactly. So that I could see them doing big things to Everton, but also United. Yeah, for me, I'm not a United fan, but I don't always bring the emotions when it comes to United. You always bring that. So I try to, suppress that from you. But I think this is a good fixture for them. Yeah, Watford have improved defensively. They have a new manager. He's doing well in the last 2 games since he came. Roy Hodgson, he's a bit defensive now. But I think Manchester United are going to have a lot for Watford. Watford is one of the worst defensive teams generally in the league. So I would expect Man United to roast them. And Southampton play your boys. Norwich, you are ignoring your boys nowadays.
It's funny. If I could, I would have made like a lot of transfers to. I was telling you about what's his name again, the free kick guy in Southampton, to bring him in for
JWP.
even like
James Ward-Prowse.
JW. I was thinking to bring him instead of Coutinho, because I was thinking, Norwich is going to be a bloodbath for them.
Yeah.
I'm always, whenever Norwich is playing, I'm always thinking, who are they playing against? Because I know that they're not good defensively, and they've been one of the worst teams defensively the whole season. Even though they're doing well now, I think they're trying, but still.
Yeah, definitely. They are doing okay, not bad. They're considered a lot though against Liverpool, but it's against Liverpool. So against Man City, you expect them to consider a lot of.
At least they scored though against you guys, which is surprising. So I mean,
they got a goal. They scored first, and Liverpool had to chase the game.
Another team that I'm really impressed by, I think I saw their last game, was Newcastle. They're really good.
I was impressed with them. I watched the game against West Ham, and they were very impressive.
West Ham,
yeah.
Very. I mean, they were like playing with confidence. I can't really like focus on any one player to say, okay, I'm targeting this player. But as a team, they've improved a lot.
Yeah, I think the player to target there is ASM, but he's injured unfortunately.
Yeah, he didn't
Uh,
play that game.
he
I
didn't
think.
play in
Yeah.
that game, and he's because especially considering that strikers are we don't have a lot of strikers option in this season. He is one of the better strikers when it comes to FPL. He's the better, most like consistent strikers because he is rated as a forward in the game instead of a midfielder. So he's one of the
Mhm.
most consistent forwards in the game. Actually, if you look at his numbers compared to other forwards, he's up there. So yeah, maybe when he's back from injury and considering the way they are playing, I think Eddie Howe has completely changed them. And the new
Yeah.
signings, like what is his name, Bond, he's doing very well in defense. He's holding
Yeah, I
all the
was
play.
impressed.
He was
Yeah, he did
yeah,
well.
he did.
Yeah.
He's doing well. So yeah, I was impressed with them too. They play Brentford this week, so that game maybe people were considering Brentford assets, but Brentford have been woeful in the
Yeah.
past few weeks.
We have
So
all
that's
moved on from Brentford now. So
yeah. They are yesteryears, right? They are yesteryears.
yeah, yeah.
People are not even Tony and Bomo. Nobody is thinking about those
Oh,
players
just
anymore.
just like I say, all fat and no poo. That's what
Yeah.
my
So
friends are. Yeah.
yeah. I mean, so in essence, I think the teams to target are Southampton,
Mhm.
Spurs, and Burnley, of course, Manchester United, Manchester City. I think for me, these are the teams because if you look at the other fixtures, West Ham versus Wolves, that is a tricky fixture. West Ham are good, Bowen and things like that, but Wolves are a very good defensive team. So maybe you will not wanna if you are on a free hit. I don't know if you will wanna go there.
It's
And
a
the
it's
other
a risk.
fixture,
It's
it's
a
a risk,
risk,
right?
yeah,
Brighton Aston
because
Villa too is a risk, right?
because West Ham Wolves the only like watching the game, you can say Antonio. I don't know what happened to him, but he doesn't give that goal threat like he used to in the beginning of the season. The
Definitely.
only player that I know that is proactive in the team so far is maybe Fornals and Bowen. Bowen is the main guy, is the main threat for West Ham
Yeah.
so far. These past few games, I think about 5 games now or so. So Wolves are very good defensively, and they also have Neto who's returning as Neto is very. I like him very much. He's a very good attacking player. He's been injured
Yeah.
for a while now, but um, the short guy, what's his name again? The guy that scored the
Podence.
goal.
Podence.
Podence has been exceptional, to be honest. So it's going to be a tough game for them. If I were to guess, I think it's a low scoring game, maybe a 0-0, maybe a 1-1, who knows? But
Yeah.
it's not going to be an easy game. So I also wouldn't go there if I was on a free hit, to be honest.
Yeah,
But it could work
definitely.
out. You never know.
Yeah,
It could.
definitely. That fixture and Brighton, Aston Villa. These are two fixtures that I want to avoid. And in and the Newcastle Brentford because you don't like you mentioned you don't know who to target for you from Newcastle.
Yeah, for
Brentford.
Newcastle. Yeah.
So these three fixtures for me personally, I think I would avoid them. How about
Yeah.
Crystal Palace? Do you think there is something there? They play Burnley at home.
I haven't watched Crystal Palace in a while, but the fact that the Burnley has two fixtures, obviously we have to get a Burnley. I mean, Whitehorse is like you said, he's a very good asset to own because I think you were the one that spotted him, and he's a good player, obviously of good quality. Even though he's really tall, you wouldn't expect somebody who's tall to have that kind of quality, on the ball. But him is a nail on for free hit. If anybody who's on a free hit. For Crystal Palace, they have one game, but they haven't been, the
They haven't
ones apart
making the
from
noise, right? They haven't been in the team
yeah, they
making the
haven't apart from the Chelsea Looney, what was
Gallagher.
his name? Gallagher. Apart from Gallagher, I think Zaha hasn't been a hit and a miss this season. So
You
Edward
know,
is a good player, but I wouldn't want to
but
go there now, on this in this game week. But
But on the
what are
free
your
hit,
thoughts on him?
I think players like Zaha, maybe you can consider them. And they play Burnley too. Burnley are not the easy defensively. They are very solid. I know people tend to think they are not so good defensively sometimes, but Burnley are a very good defensive team. That is what they build on. Like their football is direct football, and then they try to defend well, and they have a very good goalkeeper in Pope. We all know that. So, but Crystal Palace too are a very good team, but I don't see them scoring a lot of goals against Burnley. I think recently Burnley just went to Brighton and then won 3-0. And you can see, I think they have only considered 2 goals in the last 7 games, if I'm not wrong, or in the last 7 games. And the 2 goals they considered was one from Liverpool, one from Manchester City, right? If I'm not wrong. So those two teams, maybe one from Liverpool and one from another team. I'm not sure if it was Manchester City, but they have only considered Manchester United. The 1-1 draw, sorry, and then one from Liverpool in their last 7 games. They have kept like 4 or 5 clean sheets, so they are good defensively. So I don't expect them to the game to be high scoring.
Concede a lot of goals, yeah. And I think they've improved. I don't know. We already knew from last few seasons why Pope was a good asset to own, because they're like, the defense is so good that most of the opponents try to take shots from outside of the 18, to catch the goalkeeper, distracted. But I think they've gone back to that form, that defensive form, like the Ben Mees, they're always blocking balls. So now I think Pope is a good option to have in this double game week. And Tarkowski, if it was me, who are your top 3 players to own when it comes to Burnley? Apart from Records, Pope, and maybe Tarkowski. For me, those are the 3.
Burnley? What did you say? Pope?
I mean, the top 3 players to own when it comes to Burnley.
If money is not a problem, like right now, I would say Pope, Workhouse, and Ben Mee, because Tarkowski is on, like he had COVID.
Yellow?
He had COVID, yeah. So that's why I would rather but if he plays tonight, I think I prefer him to Ben Mee, because he's more of a threat in the opposition box. So yeah, I would go Tarkowski. If there was no issue with him, of course, I would go those 3. But when you are playing the free hit, you have to consider other players, other teams. You have to consider the budget you have. So I might go without both of them, like without Pope, without Tarkowski. Currently in my team, one of them is in it, Pope, but I might go without them. It depends. But we will talk about the free hit team when we come there, and then we can look at their numbers, Burnley as a team, before we go. This is like their season's data. I try to simplify it this week. I don't want to bring all those numbers, so I just do it by expected points and points they have. Expected points basically try to bring everything that a player contributes in to get the points. Like, if, for example, if Pope is getting an expected clean sheet of, let's say, 5 or something like that, that will be added. If he gets an expected goal, which of course he will not have for Pope, and then McNeil, he has an expected goal, expected assist. So all these things are combined together, and then the calculation is done, and then that becomes the expected points. So basically, they are using their expected numbers to calculate their expected points. So for FPL wise, I think expected points, you don't need to understand how they calculate it, but you just have to trust it. Like, it is from the Fantasy Football Hub, their expected data, the numbers they use, and then they come up with the equivalent in terms of expected FPL points. And that is what I sorted by. What is the expected points for these players? Over the course of the season, the player at the top of their expected points ranking is McNeil. But unfortunately, he has not had any FPL return. That's why he's really underperforming his expected points. I did not bring the underperforming numbers here. I just show you the expected points and the points. He has an expected points of 71.5, but he only had 52 FPL points. And his expected points, most of them is coming from expected assists. So, for example, when Tarkowski is having a big chance, a headed big chance, and then he misses it, maybe McNeil was the one who created an expected chance, but it did not turn into a goal. So that is the thing. So he's kind of underperforming, but I would not go there, to be honest, because you want at least some returns, right? You want him to give you some returns. And then you have Pope is the second highest when it comes to expected points with 65.9, and then he has a point of 79. So he's overperforming his expected points. But Pope, that is what he do, because he makes a lot of saves, long range saves and things like that. So he gets a lot of FPL points. Ben Mee and Tarkowski, you were asking me who I would have. Ben Mee and Tarkowski, they are all on 54 expected points, both of them. And their total points, 56 for me, 57 for 57
basically.
So it's the same, basically. So it's all about who do you want. Ben Mee is 0.1 cheaper. So maybe that's why I went with Ben Mee, and then Tarkowski is having the yellow flag. You have players like Westwood. Lowton now has lost his place to somebody, which is Tyler Roberts. His name is not Tyler. I forget, Connor Roberts or something like that. He started in the last 5 game weeks. Lowton has been on the bench. Goodmanson. And if you look at the last 5 games, just the last 5 games, like when you, for example, you yourself, you would consider those players, because these are the players that are so in form. Rodriguez was the one at the top. Pope number 2, McNeil number 3, me number 4, and then you have Workhouse number 5. But Workhouse, don't let's not forget that he was missing some of the games because he just signed for them. I think he played 3 games or something. So this is how their expected numbers are looking, and their points over the call. Rodriguez too is looking interesting, but again, will he start? There is what his name, Kone. He's back from the AFCON, but he has not been impressive. Yeah, this table does not tell you much, but it gives you an idea of who is doing what from Burnley. But I think the target is always Pope, the striker, Workhouse, and one defender. And then I think that defender is either me or Tarkowski. And I think a lot of narrative is coming because of their fixture is Leicester City, who have been the worst team when it comes to defending corner kicks. Yeah, when it comes to defending set pieces. So you would rather go with the defend like the center backs because they are the ones who are the threats when it comes to set pieces. So yeah, like you say, that is it. Goalkeeper, the striker, and one of the center backs. That is the best way to go with Burnley.
Yes, I think to spread it around, because the fixtures they have, Crystal Palace against and Leicester, it's a good fixture for them, to be honest. And I see them the way they have been on form the past few game weeks. I think they can do something in these 2 games. So if you want, as we just discussed, or like you just said, if you want, you can look at the season, and then you can look at the last 5 or 6 game weeks, and that tells you which players you should go with. I think it goes without saying, like the ones to target. I think for looking at the defensive side of Burnley is to go with the keeper, Pope. Personally, looking at this, I would say McNeil, because if these 2 teams that they're going to play against, especially Leicester, and they are kind of suspect defensively, especially when it comes to set pieces, McNeil is going to be the one that's going to take most of those set pieces.
Definitely.
So either ways, he's going to have to
be involved in the goal.
Points. Yeah, he's going to be involved in the goal somehow. So
by an assist or something. Yeah, he could be. Yeah, I think he's a very good outside, because nobody is thinking about him in the community.
Nobody is thinking about McNeil. Yeah, but he could go off in these 2 fixtures.
Yeah,
and I'm not sure what his price is.
His price is about 5.6 million or less. But if you are on a wild card, wild card is a 1 game week punt, right? Just 1 game week. The variance can go anywhere. Free hit, sorry. It is a 1 game week punt, so you can go. The variance can go anywhere. Of course, if you look at this data, the overall data, it is telling you for a long period of time, maybe you can trust this data. But for a 1 game week, like a triple captain, it's a one time. So sometimes it fails, sometimes it works. So that's it. But also, we will you have to consider the cheap options like Peters. He has been starting in the last 4 or 5 game weeks. Eric Peters, he is 4.2 million. If you don't have enough money, like if you want to maximize your money, your free hit money on the premium players, like the Manchester City players, the Manchester United players, the Tottenham players, the Sons, the Canes, the Bruno Fernandes, the Kevin De Bruyne, the Starlings, you want to maximize on that area, then maybe players like Peter will come into the picture, because he is also playing regularly. Roberts, like I say, he also is playing regularly at right back. He kind of took the place of Lowton. Lowton has not started in the last 4 or 5 games. But of course, there is that threat of Lowton coming into the team. There is that threat of Taylor coming back from injury, and then Peters lost in one of the double game weeks. So that is it. But if you want a safe pick, I think it's the center backs and the goalkeeper and the striker. Yeah.
Okay. So moving on, is that the one we're going to discuss?
The confirmed doubles. We have to.
The confirmed doubles.
But we can talk about Manchester. Yeah, let's talk about the fixtures first. Let's talk about Manchester City. Yeah, Manchester City. The 5 teams we.
Man City, yeah.
Yeah. Who are the
3? I think I was listening to watching the podcast. What's it called? FPL Wire. Late right, and when they invited, is it Luke?
Yeah, the one who predicts the
the one who predicts the starting lineup for Man City. And I think he made a good point that if he had to, I hope I'm not butchering this, but if he had to choose, that Sterling would be the one that has the higher ceiling in the team. Foden might play or might not play because of what has happened, the controversy that happened, and the video that showed. But I also share. I think I agree that Sterling has been the one that's on form for me. He did the madness, the hat trick that he scored. if I was on a free hit, I would definitely bring in Sterling. Mahrez, personally, I'm talking about personally. Mahrez for me never has really done it much for me. So every time I bring him, he blanks. I never have luck with Mahrez. So personally speaking, if I was on a free hit, Sterling would be in my team because I was also considering it. Bringing him back because I had to take him out. He was a placeholder for Salah when Salah was away. So the last possible game that I held him on, he came through for me. So I was a bit sentimental to let him go. But I think after losing to Tottenham, they have to like put their grip on the lead or try to like salvage this. And we all know when it comes to losing a game, the next game for Man City is always a bloodbath for the team. So it was unfortunate that Everton, who's also not good, are going to have to face them. Yeah, so you have to get one of the players. The problem is like
what is your best three? Yeah, like what's your best three from Manchester City?
My best three is if I would have to guess, I would go Cancelo, one. I will go Sterling, two. The third option is up in the air because I honestly don't know who I want to get. You can't go with Diaz because like I was saying.
Yeah, but who will you go with? Like if you are on the free hit, like who will be your choice? If money was not the problem.
Cancelo, Sterling, and KDB. But man,
KDB will be difficult to have KDB starting.
Maybe Gundogan, I think. Most likely Gundogan. Somebody who's not as expensive because Sterling is already expensive. KDB is already more expensive than Sterling. So you don't want to take three players who are expensive from Man City just for a single game week against Everton. You don't know where the points are going to come from. So I think if it was me, I won't go three. I would probably go with two. Cancelo or Sterling is fine. If I miss out, it's okay.
Yeah.
I can live with that.
Okay. Yeah. For me, I will go Sterling and Mahrez. I will go the attacking players. Mahrez, Sterling, and then Cancelo will be my third option. But I am open to losing Cancelo on a free hit. I'm open to losing him on
I think so. I think so.
Yeah. Southampton, you talk about them. I think that one is obvious. There's Broha, there is Livramento, and there is Ward-Prowse.
Yeah.
But I like the El Yunusi punt for a free hit. El Yunusi, I'm considering him. But yeah, I want to maximize my midfielders. And Tottenham, of course, is the two obvious one, Kane and Son. But Kulusevski, what do you think?
He was impressive, man. I was like, oh, this player is, is impressive. He was getting forward, getting in those spaces. I think he scored. Wasn't he the one that scored the first goal?
He scored the first and assisted the final goal.
Yeah. So now we have somebody else who is cheaper than both Son and Kane. And
it's just 6 million.
Might be in those dangerous positions. He's a very interesting player to have.
Yeah, but you have to wait, right?
If you want to go for it, man, I think you should. If I was on a free hit, I would see.
You will consider it for a free hit, of course. But I mean, if you wanna, But we are talking about free hit. You are right.
Yeah, but if we're talking about free hit, I think you can go for it because you can fall either way. But personally, I would target Leeds because of how open they are. I would target just the two main key players for Tottenham because I have to spread the funds and get other players. So I will go with Son and Kane all day.
And finally, your team, United. If you are on the free hit, who are the
I
three?
think I'm biased. I'm biased. Like I was saying before we started the pod, I'm a United fan, and we always had a difficult time against Watford. But that is me looking as a fan. I have a bias. Obviously, I have a bias. So I think who's not a fan?
Okay.
Be the one who's best situation to advise in this case. Would you go for which United player would you go for? I think now we have players that are on form. Bruno is on form. Sancho is on form.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think you can miss with these two players. If you want to go with them, that's fine. But apart from these two, which other players would you consider for this game against Watford?
Yeah, those two definitely. I want to have them in my team, and you can see when I come to my draft, they are the two main players there. But the other two players I will consider is De Gea and Luke Shaw. And De Gea and Luke Shaw, why? De Gea, of course, we have Pope. If you have Pope on a double game week, everybody should get Pope. That's the thing, right? That's what everybody thinking. But I'm also thinking I might go for the double defense. because that makes it's cheaper. Because I don't want to spend a lot of money on Burnley, even though I want to have 3 Burnleys, but I don't want to invest a lot on them. You see what I'm talking about? So if I invest, Pope is 5.4 million, Tarkowski is 4.9 million, and me is 4.8 million. So both of them are cheaper than Tarkowski. Are cheaper than Pope. If I need money somewhere else, I don't mind them going the double Burnley. And if I go that way, I will go for a goalkeeper. I will look for a goalkeeper. And De Gea is one of the goalkeepers that I think has a high chance of having a clean sheet because it's Watford, of course. Like they have a new manager, they are more defensive now, but they still have King and what's his name, Dennis. They can score anywhere.
They can score. Yeah, they can.
So you know, and Man United can be very vulnerable sometimes. So that's the thing. But I think these are the other 2 players. So and I don't like Dalot at all. For me personally,
he was benched. He was benched in the last game.
He was benched in the last game week, and I have not seen enough when it comes to attacking input from him to back him. And United are not good enough defensively to say, okay, at least if he does not give me an attacking return, he will give me the clean sheet. I don't have that feel in him. But with Luke Shaw, I still know he can always give you that set piece threat. Just like last game week, Maguire scored and he was the one who crossed the goal. So Luke Shaw still have that threat. So I will back Luke Shaw and De Gea in my case for United instead of.
I think you're right. Apart from the obvious picks, which is Sancho and I think Bruno. Shaw has been exceptional. His deliveries have been good, and whenever he's fit, he's the first option.
Yeah.
Dalot too. I think I dodged the bullet when you advised me to go with Nouri of Wolves instead of Dalot because he was benched. I was like, "What? Where's Dalot?" And he was on the bench. And yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah.
So looking at Southampton, I think you already spoke about Southampton, right?
Yeah, you already did.
And Yunusi, James Ward-Prowse, Livramento, and Broha. I think everybody's jumping in on Broha right now. Somebody who has been consistently doing well. Impressive. Yeah.
Actually, for me, it's a controversial one. But when we get to our team, I have him in my team for now, but I intend to not start him. I know it might hurt. But okay, we get to our team. If I get to our team, I can explain that. But yeah, I'm not saying he's not a good pick for this game week. He's a very good pick, but I'm looking at it from a different point of view, which I will explain when we get to our team. When we get to the teams, yeah.
Okay, so looking at this fixture, any other player that you want to target for this for Freehit, if you're not like that we haven't discussed, any player that stands out to you as somebody that you're missing?
On a Freehit, the only players that I would consider and without high consideration is Cresswell of West Ham. Of course, I don't want to get into that fixture because that fixture is tricky. Wolves, they don't consider a lot. West Ham are a little bit vulnerable defensively. So like you say, it might be a 1-1 score. But Cresswell also have the attacking threat when it comes to set pieces. His deliveries are very good.
Very good.
And you know, this could be a game where it is 1-0-2. Like one cross from Cresswell and it's a goal. And then West Ham win 1-0. So Cresswell can also be a very good pick for me. But yeah, I don't want to go there because you have a lot of defensive options like Livramento playing Norwich at home, Manchester United playing Watford at home, Luke Shaw. And then Manchester City, you have Cancelo playing at home. And then you have the Burnley defenders. So why would I want to go to West Ham defenders if you have all the other options with a better... So, yeah. But it's just a small consideration with Cresswell.
I think... in my case, the Brighton Aston Villa, you might think it might be a difficult game, but I think there's something there. I just don't know, like you said, like which player to go with. I might be biased. I might go with Coutinho because I have him in my team.
Yeah.
You never.
Yeah.
Because losing against Brighton 3-1 is it 3-0? Last game, Brighton
against Burnley, but they were dejected.
Against Burnley, sorry, yeah. It's a bit concerning because Brighton is a very good team. I consider them a very good team because they're well managed and they're well drilled in their tactics, and losing against Burnley is concerning. So against Aston Villa, it's open. It's an open game for them.
Yeah.
Aston Villa they need the points because we know they've never been doing very well, but they have Coutinho, who's like a talisman for them and a very experienced player. It could go either way, but if I had to choose, I would say I'll choose Coutinho or Ramsey for out of somebody who's like a wild card of choices in this free hit team.
Yeah, for me, I will avoid that fixture, to be honest. Because to put context into that fixture, to that 3-0 win from Burnley, Dunk was suspended because he got the red card against Man United. Webster was injured in the end; he did not play. So your boy has to come back into the team, and with him, he don't help with the control of the games. That is Duffy. Shane Duffy.
I wish I kept him, man.
Yeah, Shane Duffy and what is it? Veltman. They play centre back. So that was not their favorite because they already sold Bond to Newcastle. So going into the season, their first three choice centre backs were not available. So they had to use different centre backs. And in the middle too, they were missing some players there because I saw some of the players that I were seeing. I was not impressed with their lineup. So put some context there.
Oh, okay. So
but then these players are gonna come back and then they will control games. You watched the game against Man United, did you?
Oh, they're very good.
They will control the game. Good. So what is an interesting? That's why I want to avoid that fixture. But you never know too. Like you say, Coutinho is a top player, so I know
he's a top player, man. Honestly,
he can cost them.
And that's the thing. Like he can, deliver that pass. That's the thing. You attack and then just one chance, and Coutinho just lays that pass for Ramsey, and but it's a gamble. Like I'm saying, it's better to consider your assets elsewhere if you're on a free hit and maximize those points than to just choose one game week. So I think we've already really dissected the just 26. 27.
This is 27, 28, and 29. Just for a brief one because of last time when we recorded, this was not announced. It was announced whilst we are recording. Then there is the 28 game week, double game week, 29 double game week. This was the reason actually that triggered my wild card because I wanted to maximize. I wanted to get players that will help I wanted to get a team that will be good for 26 with the doublers and get some doublers for game week 28 and get some doublers for game week 29 whilst I will free hit in game week 27 where I will get the Burnley players who I will not want to have after that. So that was the reason. So the double game weeks that were announced were Aston Villa, they play Southampton and Leeds. Leeds, they play Leicester City and Arsenal in game week 28. Newcastle, they play Brighton and Southampton. Southampton themselves, they play Aston Villa and Newcastle. Watford, Arsenal, and Aston Villa, and Wolves. And Wolves themselves, they play Crystal Palace and Watford at home. It seems Wolves have the best double game week fixtures and Aston Villa in game week 28. And then 29, Arsenal, they play Leicester and Liverpool. Brighton, they play Liverpool and Tottenham. Everton, they play Wolves and Newcastle. Liverpool, they play Brighton and Arsenal. Newcastle, they play Chelsea, Everton. Spurs, they play Man United and Brighton. These are the double game weeks for 28 and 29. So any thoughts on this? How do you plan to maneuver this period?
I think looking at from the color coding, you can tell from just looking at double game week 28 is more of a viable option to go all out because of the green and the gray fixtures. 29 is a bit difficult because there's a lot of red. A lot of these teams are playing like tough fixtures.
Yeah.
So that's why my plan is to bench boost in 28. If I can get the players and then my team looks solid enough, which I haven't been able to do, I'm still planning. I will definitely play my bench boost in 28. But yeah, it's a good fixture to have. I will target most of the players that have like really green, like the Wolves and Aston Villa players. I already have some Aston Villa. That was the point of bringing Coutinho in early anyways. But I have to get in with Wolves. Maybe Jimenez might be the way to go. And look at some of the other fixtures as well. How about yourself?
Yeah, same thing. Like I said, this is what triggered my wild card. This is what changed my mind from free hit from triple captain Salah to wild carding. And now I already have 3 Wolves players. I have Jimenez. I have what is the goalkeeper name? Jose Sa, and I have Roman Saiz. So I have 3 very reliable picks from Wolves. I have an Aston Villa pick in Ramsey and what's his name? Dinia. So I have 2 Aston Villa players. I have the Rafinha. I have Southampton. I have Broha. And and then I have my 3 Liverpool players who will play West Ham in that particular game week. I still have Cancelo who will play Man United at home, but I will play him anyways. So I'm gonna free hit. I'm gonna bench boost in 28, and then in 29 too. I'm gonna have a lot of players who are gonna double. Like I have triple Liverpool, I have triple Arsenal, I have Spurs. I have a Spurs player in Son, and I can also add, because I have a couple of transfers up to that period, so I can also add a couple of players who will double again. So it's possible that I have up to 9 double game week players in 28 and have up to 8 or 9 double game week players in game week 29, if I consider the transfers that I make. And then I'm also set for blank game week 30. So this was the reason why I used the wild card, because of I wanted to tap into this opportunity, game week 28, game week 29, and also prepare myself for game week 30, which was possible. If it was not possible, I would not have hit the wild card. But because it was possible, I decided to hit the wild card. So that's the plan I'm gonna go with during this period.
Yeah, that's a good strategy to have, because these are, I think, is when the opportunity presents itself, you have to be in the best position to maximize the points, which makes sense. For me, I was lucky enough when I looked at my team for 27 that I had 11 players playing for me, so I didn't need to do anything, to be honest. So
yeah,
I just need to maximize my bench boost chip for 28. So I have to like take a few hits because it's a double game week, so you have to make sure you take those risks and try to bring in some key players. That's what I'll be doing for 28. So, okay, let's look at our teams for 27.
Yeah, you can go first, and then I can bring my free hit team.
Yeah, so my team as it stands is Foster in goal. I have Cancelo, I have Cucurella, Ed Nouri, and Livramento. Then in midfield, I'm going with a 4-3-3. In midfield, I have Bowen, Coutinho, and Fernandez. Then up front, I have Broha, Dennis, and then Watkins. But I'm going to make a transfer. I'm going to take a hit. Salah, who's on the bench, is going to go out for Son, who plays against Leeds. And then I'm going to bring in also Workhorse for Watkins. Like I said, I think I've been a bit biased for Watkins. He's been in my team for a while now without doing anything. So it's time for him to exit, stay left, and then, So bringing him, I think, Son, I'll probably have to switch to a 3-4-3. Yeah, so the captaincy has to go to Workhorse because he's the one with the double. So how about yourself?
Yeah, but I want to say one thing about your team, because you just say you plan to wipe free bench boost in 28, which is
28,
which is gonna be the game week after this game week 27 we are talking about, and then you are bringing in Workhouse, who will play Chelsea in that fixture, and I'm not sure you want to start him against Chelsea. So, and then you're gonna lose Salah for Son, who also does not double in that particular game week, right? Tottenham. Spurs they double in Tottenham they double in game week 29, not 28. So that is my worry with for your bench boost team in game week 28. Do you think those transfers that you plan to do can maximize your bench boost in, or do you plan to go rogue and then take like 3 hits or something like that?
I'm planning to go rogue, and because it's a bench boost, I have to make sure that I maximize. Because what I don't want, my strategy has always been to wildcard and then bench boost, because your wildcard team is very perfect, and then you spread the funds and have a very good bench.
Yeah.
And then you can focus on like redirecting the value to your 11 after that. It's going to take a while. So now we don't have that time. So I'm trying to maximize, because I don't think we have any as big of a double game week again. Maybe we might have.
Yeah.
So I'm using the opportunity to try to maximize. I'll take a few hits.
Yeah,
I have to look at that plan because.
Yeah, but I think there are 10 games still on schedule. You have to take note of that too. There are 10 games in the Premier League fixtures still on schedule, and game week 30, it's looking like there could be up to 14 teams blanking. It's possible up to 14 teams blanking in game week 30 because of the FA Cup. It could be less, but it could be up to 14. So if you add that, that's going to be 7 blanks again. So there's going to be like 17 blanks to be rearranged. So you would expect that with 8 game weeks to go, there could be a bigger double game week. So if you have the free, I think the bench boost, if you are in the good position, like myself, going into game week 28, it makes sense. But if you are going to bench boost with players like Workhouse playing Chelsea, and Son not doubling, And I think Tottenham don't even have a good fixture in that particular game week, if I'm not wrong. Or maybe they do. So it's a tricky one. Let me see here. Tottenham. Let's see. Tottenham, they play. Where's Spurs? I cannot find Spurs.
Everton. They play Everton.
Everton. Yeah. Why am I not seeing Spurs? Oh, okay, Spurs is here. They play Leeds in 27 and they play Everton. Okay, Everton is not bad for them to, but it's gonna be a single game week. So if you are comfortable with that, it's fine. But I think you don't need to rush your bench boost if you don't
Bench
have
boost.
the
players.
That's just my opinion.
That's why, like, obviously, me too. I'm flexible, so I have to see because I don't have those planning things. I haven't really sat down after this fixture has been announced to really plan. But I'm targeting game by game now. So 27 for a fact is I'm trying to maximize now.
Yeah.
28, I might. The thing is, for me, I've never really had a very good bench boost points. It's never worked out for me.
Yeah, but so, I understand that. I understand, but that is kind of a bias you have against yourself again, because you have never had it. You are always sorry for yourself. I think you should not be. You should always go for it and go with the opportunities, and then go with the facts. I think, but if you always wanna be like a bit negative because it never comes, you might never get it. But it's always about trying, because we don't know the outcome at the end of the day. We just try to predict what is gonna be the best outcome, and that's what we should always try and focus on. I don't know. that is how I try to think, anyways.
Initially, it was just supposed to be doing the hokey with Salah. So Salah comes back 28, and then workhorse would have been Lacazette. Dennis would transfer to Jimenez. That way, my bench would be a really good bench for the 28. But now, the way things are, workhorse is going to come in. Obviously, he's still going to be in my team. But looking at it, I have to switch, because even though he's good in 27, they also have a very good like rest of games for the rest of the season, apart from Man City, I think, and Chelsea.
Yeah.
So he's somebody I'm considering a long time now. So we'll see how it goes, man. I don't we'll be here for a while trying to dissect my team, but we'll see. I might play the bench boost now that you've convinced me. I might not play it, but depending on how things go, I decide to just forgo it and
let
wait.
It pass. Okay, let's look at my free hit draft. This is where I am at right now. Workhouse. My man, he's gonna be coming into my team, and he's gonna be my captain. Yeah, I love double game week, and if I have the double game week, it's either him or somebody else, or Pope maybe. I can even give it to Pope. I don't mind. Personally, I don't mind giving it. If I think Pope is gonna be the highest scorer of the week, I will give it to Pope. Right now, I think Workhouse is gonna be the highest scorer of the Burnley team, so that's why I have it on him. And yeah, my team looks like this: Pope, Cancelo, Livramento, and me at the back. And then in the middle, I have Fernandes, Mahrez, Foden, Son, Sancho. I went heavy on in the middle. And this meant, because I want to play 5 in the middle, this meant I have to bench Broha. This is why I was telling you about Broha, because I cannot see any of my midfielders who I would like to bench ahead of Broha. And when you look at Workhouse, he's having a double game week, I told you, and he's going to be my captain. And Kane plays Leeds. So at the end of the day, Broha, even though I want to play him, I might end up benching him. But also, what made it easy for me to bench him too is I have him in my team. After the free hit, he will stay in my team. So whatever happens, if he punishes me seriously by scoring a lot of goals, I still know, okay, this is not a player to mess with and bench again. So I will start him. But yeah,
Let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
Do you think all your players in this 11 are going to outscore Broha against Norwich?
Yeah, I back them all to outscore him. That's the thing, especially in the middle.
Then that's fine. Because
and he's a striker. Of course, I prefer to play midfielders because of points, extra points. If a midfielder score a goal, so that is another opportunistic part in here talking, right? I think the midfielders, like especially this kind of midfielders, this Sancho's, this Bruno Fernandes, Mahrez, Foden, Son, these are involved in goals all the time, just like Broha himself. So if Broha scores 2 and they score 2, they score more points than him. So maybe I don't think they have a higher expected expected chance of scoring goals. But I feel if they score, they're gonna give me more points, and I want to use that opportunity. That's why I prefer the five in the middle than three in forward. I don't like strikers. You know that very well, right? I prefer the midfielders and the attacking defenders than the strikers, and that's why I go with the least number of strikers I can go with in this game. So Borohag will not make my team. But one thing I don't want like in my team is Foden because of the issue with him. If I knew he was gonna start, if Pep come out and say, okay, there's no problem, he's gonna start. Of course, there is no problem with him. He was assaulted and his family, and that was very sad to see. I was so sad to see that. But still, maybe Pep he will see he's a young guy. I will have to give him some space to sort out himself. But I don't think there's gonna be any punishment because he did nothing wrong. You protect your family. So I wanna hear what Pep say about Foden and to know if I will start him or not. But I prefer Sterling in that position. Like you say, Sterling is my preferred player on that position. But because of funds, I have to, balance. So if I can reduce the funds on Broha, since I'm going to bench him, maybe I can reduce the funds on Pope, reduce the funds on Cancelo. Maybe I might upgrade Foden to Sterling. But then it's still up in the air. I don't know what to do. This is what I have now, but it can change.
I think it's a good team, man. But I think you need to look at the fixtures and see which player. For me personally, Sterling is a must-have this game week because he is the one that has been on form. The whole team, if you can look at it. But I think you're spoiled for choice. Son, Kane, definite workhorse, definite nailed. Pope, maybe you can say that. But it's the midfield that's where you have to maximize because. Like I said, I'm biased. I don't think you need two Manchester United players in the team. against.
So who will you remove? Who will you remove? Bruno or Sancho?
I will remove Sancho for now and bring in Sterling and maybe get somebody else that is.
I can do Sterling and then Ward-Prowse will be Foden's place.
Ward-Prowse is a good. I have a feeling about Ward-Prowse, man. So I don't know.
That's the problem. I don't have this feeling about him because everybody is relying on free kicks and corner kicks, and this is not something I really. It's not easily predictable because even the best free kick takers, which he is, of course, like I say, does not score free kick every game week, right? Free kick is happening 3 or 4 times every season.
And set pieces, you forgot that this season has been his best when it comes to set pieces. Overall involvement, he's level up, you can say.
He's a good pick. He's a good pick, but I just
set pieces, free kicks, everything.
Yeah, I just don't like to back. I just don't like to back free kicks and set pieces. I just don't like to back. No, but I don't like I don't like to back free kicks and set pieces. I don't like to back it. Okay. Of course, it's important.
We'll come back on this pod and talk about him and the madness.
Okay. Well, it's been a long pod, right?
It's been a long pod, yeah. I think we have already covered all the bases for 27. If there's anybody out there that has really any difficulty trying to decide. So like you see, it's still difficult, but this team, I think the team that you have right now is close enough to being one of the best teams to wildcard to free hit for 27, to be honest, yeah. So I think we've come to the end of the pod. We've discussed everything that we came to discuss. So, Chama, any last words before we close the pod?
Yeah. Just let's give a bit of a plug-in of our YouTube channel and the podcast. Don't forget to subscribe to our channels, guys. Keep helping us grow this channel. And if you like what we do here, please hit that like button and give us a review on Apple Pod or anywhere you listen to your podcast. And and another one. The madness is still ongoing. Like I say, the storm was about to begin. Now we are inside the storm and it's not stopping anytime soon. So buckle yourself up and then keep going, guys.
It's FPL, man. Okay, so good luck to you guys in 27. Like I said, me I always be green. I think I'm stealing that tagline, but yeah. Catch you guys on the next one.
Goodbye, guys.